What is up, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome back to Synalytics Crypto. I would like to give a shout out to the 4 winners who won the Cardano giveaway. Congratulations to all 4 of you guys. I hope that you're going to be able to at least hold on to your Cardano for a while to see if we can get to some pretty lofty levels. So just wanted to thank every one of you who got me over to 1,000 subscribers pretty quick. I didn't expect this until maybe sometime at the end of this month, and we hit it before this month started. So super stoked. Thank you guys so much. Listen, if you didn't win, don't give up hope. We will be doing plenty more giveaways, you guys. I want to be a channel that continuously gives to my subscribers. So I'm going to be coming up with some pretty interesting ways of doing some giveaways. I think one of the things I'm going to look into is some of the projects that I mention on this channel that I'm a holder of, and I would never really mention anything that I'm not a holder of. So full disclosure, I'm always a holder of the things that I'm usually talking about. Once I hit some certain price targets and I start pulling my some of my holdings out of the market, I think I'm going to be giving away a little bit of that particular item in crypto. So it's always good to check in with Synalytics Crypto here, you guys. It's always good to see what I'm up to. It's always good to find out what's going on here. If you want to support the channel and like the content I'm putting out, the only thing I can ask you to do is to please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Give me a like on whatever video you're watching. If you want to go one step beyond that, you want to share this with somebody, you want to help this channel grow, that's great. I will be giving away some more crypto when I hit the 10,000 subscriber mark, so that's going to be fun as well. But let's talk about what's going on in the market today right now, because guys, we had such a big run up for about 2 months straight. This market just pumped really with very little pullbacks. What we've had the past, what used to be 24 hours, then it was 72 hours. Now we're working on 5-6 days. It's been about a week now since we've had some pretty, nothing major, but we've had a good amount of volatility. If you guys look on the 1-hour charts often, if you're clicking in on CoinGecko and you're looking in on your holdings and everything, and you're checking everything out, you're gonna see we've gone from green to red to green to red to green to red. It's raining green and red. There's a lot going on here, you guys. There are a lot of market movements. There are some things that are affecting this market that we need to talk about today. Because as usual, I want my new subscribers and I want people who are newer to crypto to realize what's going on here. Just realize what they're up against, because we are definitely we're looking at some things that are affecting our market, but overall we are still bullish, you guys. We are in a bull trend. Don't let anyone tell you that we're not. If you just look at where we were a couple months ago, we were not even close to $1 trillion in total market cap. Now we're well over $1 trillion. So at the height of this particular peak, we got up to about 1.75 trillion. So that's pretty good. I do expect that uptrend to continue once we get through some of this rocky time. There's a few things this is based on. Number one, March just isn't good for crypto. It's the prelude to April. We all know in this country, in America, it's tax season. So a lot of people kind of bleed out some of their holdings because they want to or they have to pay their taxes. Nobody wants to, but everybody has to. So that's one thing to do with it too. But we're also experiencing to say again, we're experiencing a healthy pullback within a bull run. So to get back to what I was saying, we are in a bull run. We have to have those 30-40% pullbacks to keep the bull run going, because we don't want any blow off top moments, none of the euphoria, because that is what will end up ruining the bull run and throwing us into a bear market. The last time we entered a bear market, we were there for way too long. So I'm actually happy to see things pull back. I'm actually happy to be able to assess situation and get back into certain projects that maybe I like a better buying price on, because when bull markets happen, guys, things happen quickly. And if you're looking at a crypto that you're trying to get into, say this thing's whatever it may be, say you're looking at Cardano at $1, right? Look how quickly we shot past $1 and got to a high of $1.50. It's a lot easier to get back into a position where you were looking, you just maybe didn't have the funds to do so. But it's funny how psychology works, because we like to buy when it's green and we get a little worried when things are red. You guys have to reverse that mentality, okay? You need to be able to take profits when things are in green, especially if you're double digits or even triple digits in the green. And you need to be able to have the guts to buy when there's a little bit of blood running in the streets, because that's how you make your markups. Now, if you look back to what happened over the past, week or so, you'll see we've had some pretty significant pullbacks, especially in some of the altcoins. Now, what happens when those things were done bleeding? They would come back and they would pump. They would pump by 30, 40, 50%, some of them well over 100%, even sometimes into 200% or more. So if you're getting in on those dips, hopefully you're able to take that portion of your money, and when those things go back and you've doubled your money or tripled your money, you're taking at least some of that off for the next cycle. Guys, we're just in another cycle within a cycle, because that's all that's going on right now. I do want to talk a little bit about the stock market. So regardless of what people say, because a lot of people completely argue the fact that the crypto market is tied to the stock market. I hate to say it, but yes and no. Now, how can something be yes and no? Because okay, we're not directly related to the stock market because we are definitely our own market. It's just that things have been commingled for a very long time now. And especially because of the new people that have been coming in from the stock market, and especially for the last, month or so, their assets and their investments are tied to what they're doing in the stock market. So if there's a major pullback in the stock market, a lot of time people have to cover their margins or their longs or their shorts. And so what are they going to do? They're going to start selling other assets. Well, you can't just sell your home. You can't just sell your car, but you sure can sell your crypto. So a lot of these people are the get-rich-quick schemer kind of type. I don't want to say schemer. I'm not trying to say they're schemers. I'm just saying they're more into the gains, all right? They're not. A lot of people aren't really into the crypto market for the tech. Some people are, and those are the people who are probably going to do the best. If you look down the road 5-10 years from now, they're all going to be doing really well because they stuck around and they invested in the right projects that do have the right tech. But a lot of the retail investors, you guys, they're in it to win it, and they're in it to do it pretty quickly. So when pullbacks do happen in the stock market, unfortunately, they kind of start to happen in the crypto market as well. Now, I will say this. I think that if there was a major crash in the stock market, which people have been talking about for a very long time, which personally I think we are kind of overdue for, because the stock market is artificially inflated just like everything else is basically right now. If there was a major crash, I can almost guarantee you, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can almost guarantee you that the crypto market would make the comeback first. I think a lot of people would actually begin to shift more towards the crypto market because, listen, investing in general can carry risks with it. In fact, it does carry risks with it. Now, Bitcoin and crypto being a much newer asset class, a little over a decade, barely. I mean, that's for what this market's done, and Bitcoin in particular has done within a decade is amazing. But the truth is when you get old money investing, you get people, whether they're going through mutual funds or whether they're going through whatever it is that they're doing, custody programs, they see this as a much more risky market. So they are going to sell off to cover their positions. They are going to sell off to cover their taxes. That's just part of the market. Now, what you need to do is you need to be able to see these things coming. You need to be able to understand what you're dealing with, and you need to be able to take advantage of these situations, because we are still in a bull market. We are not in a bear market. It's very hard to do these kinds of things because you're dealing with an asset that's kind of overall dropping. And in a bull market, it's overall upswing with the pullbacks, with the tax seasons, with all of these things correlated to the stock market. So just be aware of that, you guys. We are definitely dealing with that, and if you make the right moves, and if you have cheddar on the side, and you're kind of sitting there waiting to attack at the right moment, you're going to do okay. Bitcoin price dropped by over 6% today, losing over 5K of its value. Gosh, 6% of its value. 5K. Remember when Bitcoin was 5K? If any of you were around back then, I'm sure a lot of you were. I remember when Bitcoin crossed 5K, and it was a big deal. Then it shot to 10K like really quickly after that, but we're dealing with some pretty insane times here. From its value since it reached the all-time high yesterday of 52,500 yesterday. Did it? Oh, I'm adding words. Forgive me. Since it reached the high, not the all-time high. Quick recap. BTC had found solid support in the 43 to 44K range. A lot of people were talking about that very scenario happening. That was a dip, by the way. If you happen to catch that, good for you. During the start of the week following a sharp decline from the all-time high 58,000, reached just the week before, Bitcoin had penetrated beneath the lower boundary of an ascending price channel during that drop, showing the first sign of weakness as the bullish month of February came to an end. This is true. beginning of March, following a consolidation inside a falling wedge pattern, Bitcoin did manage to break to the upside, and it broke up pretty quickly too. And we saw a wild move reaching 52.5K as of yesterday. From there on, Bitcoin has retraced. Worrying signs for the short term. At 52.5K is also the golden Fibonacci retracement level, blah, blah, blah. The bearish move followed from the all-time high down to 43K. This means technically for the short term, Bitcoin is now bearish. Yes, you can be bearish in an overall bull trend market. Yes, you can. We had mentioned here today that there's concerns for Bitcoin. Let's get into here. Okay, Wall Street reached a 5-month high. Interesting. Okay, which means there should be a pullback coming. We're talking about, especially with the tech stocks, you guys, when the tech stocks start to lose value for some reason because it's a tech-driven market, people really dump their Bitcoin. At some point, it will be an uncorrelated asset. Mark my words, it will be uncorrelated with the stock market. We just might have to have some pain before we get there. But don't let it scare you. Don't let it shake you out of the market. Key support levels are all mentioned right here. Key resistance levels are all mentioned right here. Looking ahead, if the sellers break beneath the 20-day EMA and push below the 48,000, the first level of support, and 47.2. Okay, we're already down to. I'm just going to pull this up on my phone real quick because it's a lot easier. Because I forgot to take a look at the beginning of the video. But Bitcoin is now okay. So yeah, we're dumping pretty decent right now. We're down 8.7%. Bitcoin is at 46,751. So basically what this is going to tell you is that there's support levels, there's levels that we haven't breached. We've had some double tops happening, and so it is bearish for Bitcoin in the short term. Now we all know that it doesn't take much news to move this thing right back up again. So unfortunately the news right now is at BTC, and they're talking about it being correlated with the stock market. And the stock market, even though it's at all-time highs, has been pretty volatile. If you pay attention to those markets, I don't invest in stocks. I want nothing to do with stocks. I'm strictly a cryptocurrency guy, but I do follow overall general markets. I follow the gold and silver market. I follow the stock market. I follow even some of the foreign exchange markets because I like to see what things are happening. But if it's out there and if it's being talked about, a lot of times it becomes a self-fulfilled prophecy. So a lot of people, they'll see something drop and then they'll say, oh, it's time to sell. We're in a bearish market. They start to drop and it starts triggering sell orders and we start dropping more and all those other things right now. So if people are talking about the stock market being able to affect the Bitcoin market, that's exactly what's going to happen. So just keep an eye on these things, guys. Like I said, if you're in positions that you like, okay, put it this way. Don't sell on the way down. You want to sell on the way up so that when it comes back down, you can buy it on the way down. Okay, sell on the way up, buy on the way down. Trust me, it's very hard to do, but once you start getting used to it, you start to see these gains can become exponential, because if you buy on the way down and you're selling on the way up, you're making not just the gains where you bought, but you're making them all the way up. And then if you get to the point where you can hold on to some of that crypto long term, especially the good projects, then you're doing really well. A year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, you're not playing here just for tomorrow. You're playing here to be in it for the long haul. You're going to serve yourself better if you're just going to stick around for a bit and not just try to get $1 million in your bank account by tomorrow. Because if that was the case, everybody would be doing it. It'd be too good to be true, and everything would just crash, and then we'd all be bummed. So we don't want that. Also, with Bitcoin in particular, we need to pay attention to bond yields. Because when the yields rise, Bitcoin tends to drop. I'm not going to get into reading this article. Mouth's a little bit dry right now, but you guys read the news. I've said this before, and I keep saying this, and I will always tell you this. Find out what's going on in the news. If Bitcoin's dropping, there's a reason, okay? If Bitcoin's going up, there's a reason. We like to know what these reasons are because that keeps you understanding where should you be with your investments. Should you be buying? Should you be selling? Should you be worried? Or can you just kind of go to sleep on this and wake up and tomorrow or in a couple of days later everything will be in the green again? Because that's usually the case unless you're in a massive bear market, which we are not. We're doing good, guys. So definitely, and it's funny because these bond yields move by such a small percentage, you guys. I mean, in crypto, we're so used to seeing 60, 70, 80% moves sometimes within hours, sometimes within days, and then sometimes you get these assets go up 1,000% or more in a very short amount of time. So the real world, guys, what's going on around, here's the crypto bubble, and I'm not saying it's in a bubble, I'm just saying here's the crypto, right? And then there's the rest of the world, and all these things are going on outside of the little crypto world right here. Things don't move this fast. Okay, not the stock market, not the bond market, not the gold and silver market, none of the yields, none of that stuff. Crypto is a monster of its own, you guys. It's very different, which is unfortunately why a lot of people are attracted to the overnight get rich quick schemes, and they start, digging into altcoins that they don't even know what these altcoins represent or what they do. They just want to see gains, and they see this thing pump 1,200%, and they got to get in, and then they don't realize they're in the top, and it shoots down by 900%, and then you're bummed. So you have to be very educated, and you kind of have to have balls of steel to be in the crypto market, because we move like none other. So a little bit of fun news before we close this out. I'm not trying to be doom and gloom, guys. I'm just trying to alert everybody as to what's going on. There are micro movements within the macro hole of investing in crypto in particular right now. And you really need to just understand how things are moving. This is funny. I might look at this more onto myself because I like Mark Cuban. I don't like Peter Schiff. Now, before I ever started investing in cryptocurrency, I was just simply a gold bug. I loved gold, I loved silver, and it would go up or down by 3-4% in one day, and it'd be like a huge deal, And when gold crossed past $1,000 again, it was a big deal. And I kept hearing about Bitcoin, and I was not interested. And then all of a sudden, I was watching some guy. They were doing a podcast. They were talking about gold, and I think gold was like, I forget, it was $1,200, maybe, I forget, I don't even remember. This was a while ago, it was in 2016, but they were talking about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was like $500. I'm like, $500? Wow, that's insane for Bitcoin. Well, that's dangerous. Boy, I wouldn't want to own any of that when that thing crashes back down to $100, which actually did happen several times throughout Bitcoin, so you can see massive pullbacks. But so like 2 days later, I'm watching, another podcast, and they're talking about, Bitcoin hit $1,200 now. $1,200. I'm like, so you telling me if I bought this at $500, like less than a week later, it's worth more than twice what I just paid for it? Then it shot up to $1,800. I said, okay, that's it, I'm in. I went and I sold some of my gold, and I bought Bitcoin, and I was like, holy crap, this is insane. Like, I'm either making the biggest mistake of my life, or I'm doing myself the biggest favor I've ever done. And that was it. That started the whole thing. And I couldn't. Gold just didn't do it for me. It lost its luster. It lost its shine. I still am a big believer in hard assets like gold, particularly silver. But the point is, silver and gold got boring. These little price movements got boring and then I started getting into altcoins. I bought Ethereum, and then I watched Ethereum double, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, right? Then I was all hyped up, everything was great, and then I rode it all the way up to the top, never took any profits, and then everything came crashing down because what happened was it was a bubble. It was overinflated. There was no institutional investors. There was no ground layer things like we have now. There was no PayPal. There was no Tesla investments. It was pure speculation, and it was all driven by the retail investor, and everybody dropped out, and it was bad, you guys. It was like a ghost town for a while. But then Peter Schiff, this guy, dude, Peter Schiff. When are you going to swallow your pride, dude? Just shut up and admit it. You lost, dude. Bitcoin. You've been pooping on Bitcoin since Bitcoin was like $10. Bitcoin is the single best investment of all time, percentage-wise in gains. What do you have to say for yourself? It's a good thing you, sir, are not my financial advisor, and that you're not an accredited financial advisor and dealing with people's money in the billions, because yes, gold has gone up. Yes, silver's gone up. Great assets to own. Great hedge against inflation. But why do you hate Bitcoin so much? Is it because you refuse to get in at $100, and then you refuse to get in at $1,000, then you refuse to get in at $10,000, and now you're still refusing to get in while admitting the entire time that yes, Bitcoin's going to go past $100,000 someday? Is your pride that big? I guess so. I don't know. I don't know you personally, Mr. Schiff, but dude, your story's getting old, bro. Like, Bitcoin eventually is going to be a six-figure asset, a high six-figure asset, dare I say even pushing $1 million someday. And you're still going to be going, Bitcoin's bad. You guys shouldn't be touching Bitcoin. You're wrong, dude. Peter Schiff, you're wrong. Anyways, sorry about the ramble, but I've been holding that in for a long time. Mark Cuban argues Bitcoin is better than gold, which it is, telling Peter Schiff gold is dead. Move on. I love you, Mark. Yes. Tell that guy, because see, you actually have access to someone like Peter Schiff. I don't. I'm just a dude on the internet with 1,000 subs. But you, sir, people listen when you talk. You know, I love the fact that Mark Cuban came around, because Mark Cuban is an investor. He's a visionary. This guy's smart, and it took him a while. He didn't just jump in on Bitcoin earlier, which I bet he wish he would have. But see, the man swallowed his pride. He said, "Okay, I got some things to learn. I got to figure out what's going on here, because this could be big," and it is big. And so basically, you know, Mark Cuban goes on to call out Peter Schiff. There's been a few people. It must be hard to be you, Peter Schiff, especially when your own kids are investing in Bitcoin and everybody knows about it. So I don't know if you're like controlled opposition or what your deal is. I don't know why you hate on Bitcoin, but you can hate on it all the way up to $1 million+, because that's exactly what's going to happen. No one's going to care what you have to say anymore. In fact, no one cares what you have to say right now. I don't care. Mark Cuban doesn't care. Nobody cares. You're sitting there, you're holding on to an asset that has kind of reached a local top for a while. Now, based on the dollar, yes, economics, as the dollar continues to go down, which it is, everything's going up based on the dollar. It's just that gold's not going up quick enough. It's not going up quick enough. I love gold. I love silver. I own some. I'm going to be doing some videos on that kind of stuff. But for real, man, like, this is the digital world we live in now. Bitcoin is digital gold. What are you going to do with your gold? Can you send your gold to somebody in Africa or in China or even freaking to the next city over instantly for like not even pennies on the dollar? No, you can't. But you can with cryptocurrency, can't you? So I don't know what you're up to over there, Mr. Schiff, but I love it that my boy is calling you out. Let me help Peter. Gold is hyped as much as crypto. Do we really need gold jewelry? Gold can make you a ring. BTC and ETH are technologies that can make you a banker, allow friction-free exchange of value, and are extensible into an unlimited range of business and personal applications. Well said, Mr. Cuban. And they probably go back and forth and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people have been calling Mr. Schiff out lately. So anyways, there you have it, you guys. A little bit of news for today. And just wanted to keep you updated. Keep an eye on your favorite cryptos. They may drop a little bit more. Don't worry, guys. We will make a comeback. We're in a pullback in an overall bull trend. And I like to see my subscribers do well. So let me know what you think in the comments, you guys. Again, if you could and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Drop a like on this video. It helps with the algorithm. We want this stuff to get out. I want this stuff to get out. I like it to see my channel grow, and it's all thanks to you guys, so I appreciate you so much. And I will see you back here sometime tomorrow. Peace.